Hey guys, welcome to Machines. This is Vinny. In this video we are going to talk about ESP32. As I explained earlier in ESP series that there are a variety of ESP controllers you can find according to the functions you require on board. This is one of the most powerful microcontroller you can use in home or business environment. Okay, just to give you a little introduction, you can create a Wi-Fi router with this. You can attach LEDs, bulbs with it. You can attach motors with it. Have on off. You can have home appliance attached with this controller. Okay, there are plenty. There are hundreds and thousands of projects. There is plenty you can do with this. Okay, so let's focus on to today's topic: how we can install, how we can integrate a DHT component for temperature reading. You can also call it how to make a digital temperature meter. Okay, so in order to make this chip running, you have to install a script on it that we are going to write today. Okay, I'm going to share my script, this script that you can directly punch into it, but first I want you to understand how the script is working. Okay, it's not much, it's a little script just to understand how the script is working. Okay, so you can add other components with the same script if you like to do so. Using the same methods you can attach other components. Okay, so let's focus on to one thing. Okay, so as I said in the introduction, in order to make this chip running, this component running, you have to install a script on it. To make that happen, you have to use a program. There are many programs out there you can use in order to make the script running, but in today's demonstration we are going to use Arduino. Okay, so first of all you install Arduino on your machine. In today's demonstration I have installed Arduino software, Arduino program in my Raspberry Pi. Now you can ask, why on planet Earth you have to install Arduino on Raspberry Pi and run your script through it? Okay, I'm gonna tell you the secret. Okay, Raspberry Pi is a small computer, same as this microcontroller. Raspberry Pi is a little bigger, but that itself is a running computer. Okay, so you can have your computer running on cloud. Okay, just think about it. You have Arduino running on cloud, where on Raspberry Pi, where you have access remotely, and you have this chip attached with it. Now you can on the fly you can have a program running on your Raspberry Pi, controlled via remotely desktop, and you can shoot the program direct into this chip and have the program running. Something like, let's say if you have a satellite running in orbit in space, you can have access to your computer, your Raspberry Pi. You can send into space. Yes, there are many Raspberry Pi already in the space. So you can send a Raspberry Pi in space, and mind it, already there are hundreds of chips, hundreds of ESPs in this space already. Never know, who knows what we have in this space. So anyhow, let's get going and see how we can install DHT digital temperature meter with this. Okay, so I'm gonna hop on to my Raspberry Pi, and we're gonna start a program called Arduino. So let's hop onto the computer and see how it goes. Okay, so we are opening Arduino on Raspberry Pi. I will try to make another video how to install Arduino on Raspberry Pi 4. The one I'm using is Raspberry Pi 4. Here we go. We have successfully running Arduino on our Raspberry Pi. So very first thing to do is, as soon as you plug in, as you can see, there is a USB port on the board, on the chip itself. Okay, so you attach this USB, this micro USB, with your computer. Okay, or like I'm attaching with my Raspberry Pi. Okay, and after that, now once you attach this, now you come on the Arduino program, you open the Arduino program. The very first thing we are going to do is we are going to select the board, which board we are using, what is the chip, what is the chip manufacturer, which kind of board we are using. So you select node MCU 1.0, 0.9 is the old version, 1.0 is the latest version. We select this, we select node MCU 1.0, and then after you select this, yeah, here. Now once you selected the board, now you have to come on to libraries. We have to manage the libraries. Libraries are like pre-built programs built into the chip. You just have to call the function from here. Your chip have to know what library you would like to use. So from sketch, you go to include library and you go manage libraries. Here we manage all the libraries we need according to our component. Okay, so here are the libraries. I'm going to add into the description what libraries we are going to require. Okay, here you can add one by one. These libraries goes according to the component you add on board. Okay, I'm going to share the wiring diagrams. I'm going to share the link of an article where you can find the full description of this DHT temperature sensor. Okay, you add the libraries for a Wi-Fi client because we are going to connect our ESP. Now most of ESP32 chips are inbuilt Wi-Fi networks, including server and the client side. So you can connect to any network and have things running online. So in our case, we are going to connect our in our local network and view the data of this component on any device on this network. Okay, whatever network we are going to connect with. Alright guys, so let's move on and add the libraries. Once you have added the libraries, add the script. Make sure you change the Wi-Fi username and password, etc. The configuration, I mean. Okay, make sure the pins you are using, the connections you are using are the same connections. The numbers you are using on ESP board are the same. Once you have the correct board from tools, okay, and then once you have from sketches you have the libraries we are going to require. After that, add the script and hit on verify. First, before we upload, we are going to hit on button say verify. Here you see, here you verify the script before you actually run it. So once you have the board, the correct board, the MCU 1.0, once you have the libraries, exact libraries, what we need according to our DHT temperature meter temperature component. Actually, this is how it looks like, DHT temperature sensor. Okay, I'm going to share the details in description. What is exactly the model name, what exactly the chip model we are using. Okay, and here's the Raspberry Pi that we are using with this chip. Okay, ESP, yes, you can attach GPS and have your location, same as your mobile. Now once you verified all the data, it's good, you can go ahead and upload it. It is going to take a few seconds. If it doesn't upload, make sure you are using correct serial port. The serial port is going to be USB most probably. Okay, so make sure you use correct serial port if the data is not being uploaded onto the chip. Okay, now once you have the data onto the chip, click on the reset button. Okay, there is a reset button. There are small two buttons. Okay, let me show you if I can. press on reset button in order to make the device running. Okay, once you have the script on it, you press reset button, you hop onto your local network. Now just to give you a tip, I'm going to share how you can find what are the computers and what are the hosts connected with the network or your Wi-Fi network. You can log in into your router and see what are the hosts connected, or you can run one of the softwares to see what clients, what hosts, what components, what phones, what computers are connected with your network. Okay, once you know what is where this chip is connected, I mean what is the IP address of this, you remember we have remember earlier I said change the passwords. We add the passwords, we add the username and password of our Wi-Fi network. Okay, so once you connect this, once this device is connected, this device is going to have an IP address. You take that IP address and open any browser in your local network. You open the same IP address, you should have the same page as I am showing you in the screen. You should have the live temperature running. Okay, I'm gonna show you right now. So when you will open the browser and the IP address on port, open with the port 6500. I have assigned a port number 6500. You can assign any port. Port 80 is a default port for all browsers. So open your IP address with the same port with the semicolon. As you can see on the screen, this is how it's gonna look like. The temperature right now inside is 23 degrees and the humidity is 33%. It's quite good. So this script is very simple HTML script. You can add on, edit as you like. Okay, you can add any frames, divs, any cartoon work or any images if you like, and have your data. You can have this chip running into your backyard, and you can read the temperature anytime from any room. You can have a temperature meter. You can have this ESP as a temperature meter in your AC room or in your maybe refrigerator. If you have a big business and you have multiple refrigerators, you can have multiple components running with one ESP, or you can have multiple ESPs depending on your requirement. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Once again, this is Vinny.